दिखाता ही नहीं जानता ही नहीं मैं क्या टीम है ब्लैक स्क्रीन।
अरे अभी अभी हमको चाहिए कि स्पर्स के प्लेयर कम हो, तो हम चाहते हैं सऊदी जाएं वो सारे प्लेयर्स, तो अब हम सऊदी सपोर्ट करते हैं।
जब पर्सनली देखा, पर्सनली बंदा गया हुआ है डील्स करने के लिए।
Yes.
हाँ, मैं एरिक
यस।
डायर को बेचना चाहता हूँ।
Joga. So shall we,
Okay,
Biggie?
okay. Let's go. Okay. Welcome, guys. Game week 2 is done, and what an eventful week, man. It was like for all of us, it was very eventful. United lost, Chelsea lost, so quite a good day for us. And 5 red cards, and most importantly, United did not get a penalty. I have no idea how did that happen. And I just want to know, like, did Glazer just forget to send the check this time? Anyway, we'll talk
But
all of these things.
most
What happened?
importantly, Spurs win.
Oh,
Did
I'm
not
happy for
mention
you.
it.
Wala abhi bhi.
Come to Dubai.
Yes, we'll talk everything all about that, all about the game week second on this podcast Beyond Injury Time. So welcome, guys, and I just want to talk to our United boys now. And what do you guys think about that penalty? Man?
Well, Spurs get a deserved win rather. So, uh, to celebrate the happiness, I guess Amit went to Dubai or
No,
Abu
I
Dhabi,
will go
wherever
to
it
him.
is. Wherever it is.
Party.
So great, man. I mean, yeah, we didn't get the penalty, but we are United fans. We are not going to cry over it. We got favored. We got favored last week. But yeah, that was
and
a
we got
definite
the favor
penalty.
returned.
Yeah, that's fine. It happened.
Taking such a high road, man.
Yeah, I
he
mean,
knows. He knows.
the referee.
What?
The only regret is that the referee did not apologize in our case.
No, it hurt
Yeah.
me. It
But
hurt
people
me.
have to say. But people have to say that United
Mhm.
made all the decisions.
But
So,
how does it feel to be on the other side for the first time?
like I said,
Yeah.
I don't care because the problem is that had we played well that game, it would have hurt a little bit more, and I would be here ranting about it. The thing is that we didn't deserve to win. We did not. I mean, we did not play well for the entirety of 90 minutes. First half,
Wow.
yes, we saw a little bit of intensity, but the game is either won or lost in the second half because that's where you go to the dressing room and the manager, comes up with motivation or tactical changes that the teams face off in the second half. So we lost the second half battle, which is unlike us under Eric Ten Hag because last season we actually upped our game in the second half. I don't know. It currently, at least after 2 games, it feels like we've gone backwards than forwards from last season. That's a little bit of a disappointment right there. But let's see. I mean, it's too early in the season to be, commenting so much about what Eric Ten Hag is thinking.
What do you think, Manish? Man, do you have the same view about it?
Yeah, almost same. Like many of the United and Spurs matches, this was a game of two halves. Like in first half, United had very good chances. One of them was the penalty, but okay,
Not
you
good
have to
enough.
also think that you have to score the goals when you get the chances.
Yeah.
United missed them badly. We
Mm-hmm.
could have been 2-0 ahead, but no, okay, we missed it. So then in the second half, there it was a no show, complete no show from United. And Spurs, they deserve the credit. They won the match. So I would say good performance by Spurs in the second half, and very bad performance by United. The thing I am worried is like from the outside, it looks like United are like just as Rajesh said, we are going steps backward. I think there are
Mm-hmm.
doubts if the this team will do good or not. But I think it's just a matter of clicking. Like there were chances. Like United was creating some chances, some of the players playing out of position, but it should not be an excuse. Like if Rashford wants to play only at the left wing, then what kind of player are we seeing in him? Like he should be contributing in from other positions as well. So
True.
I think there needs to be homework done. Eric Ten Hag danda dega, and then there is a chance of comeback. That is what we can all hope for as United fans, because this match
Okay.
is gone.
I
So
will actually come back to you on that. I do want to talk a little bit about it, and I will also come back to you. But I'm just looking at this Spurs guy who probably should be ecstatic that his team won. I think first win for Ange. Good for you. Congratulations. What do you feel, man?
Man,
Where do you actually
I think
were better than United?
so. First of all, I want to mention first win for Ange. It's first of a lot of things, and maybe first of a new beginning. This is first win of Ange in Spurs. First win of Ange in the home stadium as well. Uh, as well as first win in against United for so long. I think last time we won in the Pochettino era.
Oh wow.
Post that
Okay.
we have not won
You
against
mean at
Manchester
home
United.
or like total?
No, I think we have not defeated Manchester United
Oh, okay.
in a long time. Yeah.
Hmm. I
So
guess there are a
it's a
few draws, but yeah,
yeah,
not wins.
Probably
draws
not
were
wins.
there,
Yeah.
but not wins. So yeah, it's a fresh it's a breath of fresh air for us. And even if you first of all, I was like super scared when I saw the starting lineup, right? Poro and Udogi in the same team. That haunted me in the start. That what this guy is thinking, because they both do not have a lot of they don't defend very well, right? Emerson, why he was put in the initial team was because he do the defending more than he was supposed to attack, right?
Okay.
But Poro does not believe in that, right? So both of them, and I think the first half, whatever nervy moments that came were because of those two guys, and we were looking like that, but yeah, Vicario did stood up, man. So that is something I think
I guess
finally Vicario.
the point that you mentioned about Pedro Porro being a little susceptible in defense, right? I believe he did a pretty good job on Garnacho.
Exactly.
I mean, he stopped the crosses, the basics of a fullback, right? I mean, going forward, we've seen that
Mm.
he's pretty good.
So
But coming back, he was tracking well. He
mm,
was putting in the tackles inside the box. I mean, risky challenges where you have to get the ball or it's a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't get given to us,
Okay.
but yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
he put
but
in
I
the
yeah,
think
good.
I gave you
he
the chance
makes
to
a
complain, man.
he makes a good point, Rajesh. That yes, although it made us scared, but yes, Poro did a good job, and I know he has couple of moments where he kind of missed things, but at the end he did a lot of good than what he did wrong, right? So
Okay.
yeah, he's actually trying to be a part of the team. He knows what is expected of him, and now he is trying to fight for his place, right? He does not want it to be given to Royal just because he have not played in that position.
Okay.
He's working hard. He's making this position his. And this also actually brings to a very good point that Royal is replaced in this match who was a scorer in the last, right? uh, so that means that Ange is trying some compositions. Ange is actually giving a lot of importance to training sessions. So this is what I have heard is that based on training sessions, he chooses the first 11
Okay.
to play, right? Who is playing well. There is no sure berth in the team that this guy will always play.
That actually does make sense, because new team, so many players, and I mean, he will have to mix and match, and probably then only he'll be able to
Yeah.
select, right?
He
I
will
you
after a few games he will arrive at a starting 11. He is
Yeah,
11.
yeah, pretty sure, yeah. And
You cannot chop and change
So,
every time.
yeah, but
from the
again,
way I
he
think he
what he will.
started. Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Abhay.
Yeah, I was just saying that from the way that I think he has started, it seems like this is probably going to arrive it sooner than later. That looks good. I feel like Spurs look good, and United just still not picked up the way probably what was expected of them. And Abhay, what do you think, man? As a neutral, what do you think about both of these
Neutral?
teams?
Having Arsenal fan as a neutral is a
No,
good
I was
statement, but yeah.
Semi-neutral.
no, no. I have a few things to say. Firstly, I would like to say that they said they have taken steps backwards. That's what the United fans feel. But if you see the first two results of last year, they have done mighty well. So, kudos to you.
Man, you cannot compare two results from last season to two results. And say it's a progress. Typical Arsenal attitude. Dil jeet
Yeah.
liye.
My
Arsenal
God.
can do anything, man. Arsenal can
The
do
dude,
anything.
the dude was trying to give up.
right now.
Saliba.
Did you just copy a year right now?
Oh my God. He was trying to give
and-
you a compliment and he still came back to him somehow. Yeah, man.
And now I'm also thinking कि इस बार तो इतना पैसा भी नहीं उड़ा सकता पैसा तो उड़ गया already so that thing cannot take place but very generally I agree to what Iyer said in terms of Rashford. If you're playing centrally, are you not going to contribute because you're the talisman, you have taken the big contract, you need to perform, and he wasn't performing. And secondly, I feel there's not enough balance in United's midfield at present. Maybe they are new
Yeah.
players, that's why, but it looks a little shaky to me, right? In terms of what I saw in Spurs, I thought that they played really well, right? They played really well, but it's a little concerning that between Brentford and United, they gave off almost 8 to 9 clear-cut chances. So
Okay.
they've been a little lucky that they have not been punished. You cannot keep doing that. And I do like the left back they have, Udogi. Also, a big revelation was how good that Pepe Mata Sar and Bissouma were in the midfield because they were bossing it.
Oh yeah,
Bissouma who
Bissouma.
won the
This
Yeah.
man of
midfield
the
is
match.
looking next level, man. They are
Yeah,
clicking at a
he's looking really good. And Pedro Porro also hit the post once, but I do agree Pedro Porro is very susceptible. Like I would say if you have a really good winger, because he leaves a lot of space behind when he attacks,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't seem the defensive side of the game attracts him that much.
but actually, what I've seen is in the game that when Poro was going ahead, Saad is kind of trying to cover
Yeah,
the right
he
back area as well. So that is a
he could.
fluent type of
I feel like
football.
that's kind of a part of tactic. A guy who's generally
Correct.
good at attacking, right? So
Hmm.
you see space behind him because somebody else is supposed to cover actually that particular space. Maybe they are just maybe it was too fast of a counter attack, or maybe they just got caught into transition or something like that. But generally somebody else is supposed to cover because that guy is contributing in attack. So I think that's my take on it. If he's that good in attacking, the Ange will probably create a setup where he's free to attack.
Yeah, Abhay, I know where you're
Yeah.
coming from.
Exactly.
Jovitan,
Yeah.
I know where
I
you're coming from.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
No,
fully understand your sentiment.
Trent Alexander
I'm, I'm
Arnold.
I'm creating a place
No,
for him.
no,
But
So
From a
yeah.
United perspective, I'd like to also say we saw a lot of like new things that we expected.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a chance like where
हाँ,
Andre
मैं भी सुन
Onana,
रहा हूँ मैं भी सुन
like
रहा हूँ एक्चुअली क्या
yeah,
नया था ऐसा जो मैंने नहीं देखा
no, there were a lot of times where the back passes were given to the goalkeeper and it was all smooth transition. And there was also a chance where Onana picked up the ball somewhere around the halfway line and then he gave a
Yeah.
crossfield pass to directly to Garnacho. So that is a
Hmm.
single shot pass from this end to
that I
the other end
agree
of the pitch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that had never happened in the entire tenure where De Gea was there at United. Yeah.
United fans in general, it's been a year now, right? It's been a year now, and you have seen Ange come in, and you can see that there are patterns of play, right? Probably you're just starting off and it's a slow burner kind of a thing,
Mm-hmm.
but कहीं कहीं ना कहीं तुम्हें ऐसा लग रहा है कि यार थोड़ा बहुत तो pattern of play कुछ दिखना चाहिए.
Yeah,
finish
there is a major tactical change in how United are playing this
yes
time from last
yes
season. Last
correct
season, we had two midfielders sitting there in front of the back four, and
Mm-hmm.
then there were the other midfielders who, like one midfielder Bruno up, and then
perfect
the other players, attacking players as you call them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
if you see the way City play, there is only one person sitting there, and there is Kevin De
Mm-hmm.
Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and the Foden or many who play in that two positions, attacking midfielders. So Eric
Mm-hmm.
Ten Hag wanted to go that one step ahead. He doesn't
Okay.
want two midfielders sitting there. He wants one. So
Okay.
that is why we brought in Mason Mount, and so Mason Mount and Bruno are playing that attacking midfielder's job. And
Got
so
it.
now there
yeah
is only one midfielder who is sitting in front of the back four,
perfect
and now this thing has not clicked. So this is the issue
yeah
there. So
and
Uh,
Casemiro, like it seems as if he gets beaten. He is getting beaten. There's no two
Mm-hmm.
ways about it.
Yeah.
But these things are happening because there used to be a Fred. There used to be a McTominay who used to cover that space and he was
no,
not exposed that much.
Okay.
Now
no,
there is only one person, so ऐसा लग रहा है कि भाई गया. So
no.
No,
this
but I
thing he
think
has
that's
to change.
hmm.
He has to
Uh,
change this.
Maheshwari what have you got to say
Hmm.
about it
No, I've got a stat for you. Just came to my mind. It seems amongst the top 6 or 7 people to be dribbled past, three are from United, and all the three are
Yeah,
from
I've
other
seen that
midfielders.
one as well. Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah,
Hmm.
so one of them is Casemiro, two of them are the attacking midfielders, so-called attacking
Yeah,
midfielders.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that
But
can
I'm
happen.
saying that's a bit concerning, don't you think? How can you have?
okay I'm going to answer that part so
Mm-hmm.
what has happened is I told you that I mean we are unable to see patterns of play and we are unable to see any progress when
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to our midfield still being run over. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
had Fred. So with Fred, what he is a runner. He will try to
Mm-hmm.
cover space, but what
Mm-hmm.
he lacked is his physicality to be able to
Okay.
keep the ball, protect the ball, or to get the ball off of players. He never
Okay.
developed physically, to be honest.
Okay.
But he had such good traits, we just could not use him properly. Now, coming to the fact that now Fred went, so it got replaced by Mount, you can say. Actually, it is Ericsson that Mount has replaced, but
Uh-huh.
largely it has been Fred. So what has happened now is that Casemiro and Mount, and Ayer talked about the goalkeeper. Now, what we as fans thought is that, oh my God, our team used to, our defenders would not feel liberated. They will keep, looking at the back. Will Deja be able to pass? They
Mm-hmm.
used to overcompensate, and
Mm-hmm.
we would never be play up the pitch. I mean,
Okay.
towards the half line,
Agree.
but
Mm-hmm.
impose ourselves. Now, what is
Mm-hmm.
happening in these two games? If you observe, ओनाना बोल देता है कि भाई तुम आगे जाओ, वो हाथ दिखाता रहता है पूरे मैच
Mm-hmm.
में, गो गो
Mm-hmm.
फ्रंट. आई मीन दैट गाय इज प्रीटी कॉन्फिडेंट, ही इज अ बैड एस, लेकिन
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
पीछे नहीं. योर हैबिट टेक्स ओवर, राइट, कि मैं
Uh-huh.
पीछे जाता हूँ थोड़ा वरा.
Mm-hmm.
तो व्हाट
Mhm.
हैपेंस, पुश अप, वो बॉल रिलीज ही नहीं करता जब तक आगे नहीं गया.
Okay.
Okay.
वो
Right.
रिलीज तो मतलब दिखता है भाई, क्वालिटी स्वीपर
Obviously.
इज ट्रेमेंडस. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट अचानक से आवर टीम सोच रहे कि अरे हमको आगे पुश कर दिया. माउंट इज अनेबल टू थिंक कि भाई मेरे को मेरा प्रेस ट्रिगर कहाँ होना चाहिए, मैं आगे जाऊं कि रुक जाऊं. ब्रूनो फर्नांडिस और माउंट के बीच में बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, एंड दैट
Okay.
इज व्हाई that midfield is getting run over because they are just running like headless chickens. So as a
Okay. Okay.
fan watching that game, I feel really frustrated कि भाई क्या हो रहा है. But on the flip side, if you after the game, once you have cooled down, if you really analyze, which is covered by Manish because he talked more sensibly than me in that respect. So if you really think about it, that is what the problem, because there is no sync between Bruno and ये. Casemiro को भी बोल दिया है कि भाई push forward. उसको एरिक टेन हैग ऐसे पुश लिबरेट कर दिया उसको, भाई तू सिटिंग मिडफील्डर नहीं है, तू भी आगे चले जा. There is also one more reason why he's been instructed to go forward, and that is because he has very good, channel running capability. He has very good finishing
but
ability,
Agree.
better
Uh-huh.
ऐसा
than Rashford
but
somehow.
see
Maybe
ये
I'm being
चीजें
a little harsh, but yeah.
You're being a
but
bit
Yeah,
ये
rash.
being
I found it very insightful actually. I was like, Acha, I didn't
hmm.
observe this.
I also have a criticism of Eric Ten Hag actually. His in-game management over the 1.5 seasons that he's been there hasn't been the best at all. I appreciate all the off-field decisions that he has made. All the man management and other things are still okay, because this was a disjointed group of superstars that we had at United, and he had someone had to take charge. Someone had to bring in discipline. And when I say discipline, when I say coming on time, these are the very basics that
Basic
should
stuff. Yeah.
already be happening under any manager at a football club like Man United.
Right.
So he came in and did the basics right.
Okay.
And our fans, you know how overhyped fans are. Oh, Tenak, the Baldy genius, and all that. Yeah, okay, all
Eric
that shit.
Ten Heisenberg.
Eric Ten Heisenberg,
I've
all
seen that.
that. So
Bro,
I
I'm just
don't get.
thinking this is what Ayer actually said,
Yeah,
right?
Ayer
Yeah,
was the one. He was
yeah,
pretty
and
impressed.
Ayer is the fan, bro.
Ayer is the fan. But to
No,
be honest, these are the very basics that is
Right.
expected at a football club, at any football club, even Luton Town. Okay, they don't have a stadium to play in.
But they
So
have the discipline.
yeah, they have to discipline. Now, तुम
Right.
discipline के लिए अगर एक manager को genius बोल दोगे, I am not
Hmm.
buying it. I have to see it on the pitch. तुमको transition खिलाना है, you have to want to create the best transition team in the world, so be it. But मेरे को transition में भी there has to be pattern. There has to be pressing and counter pressing as well. I don't see it. Okay, that's why I've been focusing that if I sound in a more sensible way, if I have to explain in a more sensible way, what I see, the problems that I see is between Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes. तो compatibility नहीं है, दोनों creative minded और attacking minded players हैं. अब टेनाग ने उसको खरीदा है यू नो ऑफ कैसामीरो खेलने के लिए नंबर 8 में.
now
अब
it's
उसको
his
जम नहीं
job
रहा,
to now
उसको
it's
जम
his
नहीं
job to
रहा.
get it clicked.
Then
See,
I've
I
got
have
a very
Okay.
good news
but
for you.
Rajesh
I
but
have a
Rajesh
contrasting opinion with what Rajesh said. I
No,
mean, like
but I've
in-game
got a very
management of Eric Ten Hag has been good. He has been very good with the changes last season, like starting with which player and then bringing on which player. This all have been very good last season.
but
But this
see,
season,
if we are talking
it is not clicking. So
No.
I'm not worried about that. I think
Okay.
even if we draw 1 or 2 matches in the coming 3 matches, if we lose out on one match, it's okay. But this principle, this has to go down. That's how things will get clicked. There will be
Okay.
sync, there will be
Okay.
everything
On the
in
points
song,
I
of
get
but
it. I get it.
just 1 or 2
midfielders, I
games.
want to talk. I want also people to talk about Bizuma, man. Come on,
Yeah.
we have had enough about mounts and
No. But
the-
before we go on, I have a very good news to break to these people because it seems that they feel that I mean, obviously they're watching, so they don't know much better that there is not enough in sync when it comes to Mason Mount. So
Mhm.
Mason Mount is injured, right?
Mm.
He's out
Oh.
till the international break.
Oh.
So come Nottingham
Amrabat.
Forest, right?
Hmm.
No, he's not there. So
Hmm.
ideally, मतलब अब तो chance मिलेगा ना?
You'll have a different guy, yeah.
It will be Van de Beek.
Who is it?
No,
Oh, I
McTominay.
forgot you had
McTominay
Van
is
de
there.
Beek, man.
McTominay
को-
will actually play.
By
McTominay है.
Amrabat, you will want Amrabat more desperately now, I believe.
मुझे तो लग रहा है
Oh, let's
deliberately
even not
टेनाग
go
ने
about transfers,
माउंट को
man,
इंजोर कर
seriously.
दिया है, पता है? Deliberately मार दिया होगा टैकल वैकल बीच में, ऐसे सीटी बजाने के लिए खड़ा होगा और पैर निकाल दिया होगा कि साले मर, मेरे को Amrabat चाहिए.
I mean, I feel like, if we talk
Like
about
Ayer
United,
used to say, drastic situations need drastic measures.
man.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, I feel like if we talk about United, we'll just keep talking about United. I just want to pass the torch to
chup
Khanna
rahe.
because he wants to talk about Bissouma.
Agreed.
So I just
I-
want to know.
Bis
what-
bis
what-
Let's also talk about a midfield that did work.
Yeah.
Why? But Bizuma, I think from this season, I don't think he can do anything wrong. He is completely different guy. Conte, he was not even able to get into the first team, right?
Okay.
And now what he's doing, he's the man of the match, I guess, for both the matches that have been there in this season.
Nice.
Right? He's doing everything. He has like passing accuracy, whatever you will say, but it's still better than your midfield. But yeah.
Wow.
So Bizuma is like this guy is actually somebody that I believe will shine. I think even in pre-season there is a point in the fan base that Yves Bizuma is the new big thing, right? So
हाँ जेल से आने के बाद शायद अच्छा खेल रहा है.
right,
He
because
learned a lot of
jail
discipline
teaches
in the jail.
Jail teaches a lot of things, man. Jail teaches a lot of things. So
And discipline is one
that
of
might
them.
have it. Yeah. You have a jailer as a manager. So I think Bizuma is doing good, man. He is defending. He is doing like line breaking passes. He's
And
everywhere.
he also
right
plays
now.
with a lot of swag. That is
Yeah.
one point I like a lot.
Wow, man.
Bhai,
And
he,
इसको बस swag
It looks-
चाहिए भाई.
it looks so good
उधर-
for you, man. Madison
उधर
and Bizuma
Onana-
both.
ओनाना फर्स्ट मैच में क्लोज लाइन दिया था, बोला भाई स्वैग है उसमें.
Swag.
उसमें स्वैग नहीं बोला था कुछ भी. वो जो पास दिया था उसके लिए बोलूंगा क्या स्वैग था भाई.
अरे वो
Okay,
क्या स्वीपर
let's-
और पास टू सीधा गार्नाचो
हाँ.
तगड़ा.
Okay,
he's actually
let's-
he's also completely like press resistant, right? With the CDM's number 6 that have been bought this season, I now believe that Bizuma was a very cheap buy last season, right? Number 6 का अभी 100
That's why you
लेके
have
भी
him, man.
भाई
That's why
अलग
you
चल
have
रहा
Good
है.
reason. His
For good
case was
reason.
still on that at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Correct.
Me and Abhay were talking about it.
Hmm. So,
Man,
and
Levy
this
better
Levy
call
does such a
Saul.
business, you know.
And the star guy is on next level. He's a youngster. I think if I would have had one more pick in the youngster I'm looking forward to, Sar would be the next pick that I would have given. So this guy is like, he's very mature. He is, even if you hear about him like on his personal notes, he clicks to somebody. He's somebody who is like very happy, who is like laughing all the time. So he is somebody who cheers the dressing room as well, and he puts a lot of energy on the ground, right? He's like he's becoming a number 8. He was a number 6. He played everywhere as a number 6, but he is taking the role of number 8 very well under Ange's system.
Sometimes Udogi
Yes.
bosses the midfield.
हाँ,
इन्वर्टेड
we have
खेलता है और
lot of
भाई सीधा
midfielders now.
स्किप कर दिया भाई. माउंट कसमीरो के बीच से चला गया, चीर दिया उसको.
Wow.
But
भाई
I
आते
actually
ही दो मैच हुआ. अभी लास्ट में लोन पे था, राइट? सार को 1-2 मैच कॉन्टे हैज प्लेड एंड देन ही वेंट ऑन लोन, एंड आई थिंक स्किप को ही जस्ट रिप्लेस, लाइक ही इज सुपीरियर देन स्किप फ्रॉम द 2 मैचेस ओनली. I don't think Skip will be coming back soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Unless and
He is
until there is a injury, I don't see it either, because from what I've seen of Sar, for a young lad, he's got a very stable head on his shoulders, and his
correct.
जैसे अभी recent matches में मैं देख रहा था, for a number 6, the kind of spatial awareness he has and the time when to put a slide tackle, specifically in the match versus United, his timing was so on point, and the way he was covering for Poro was so good. I was like, गलती से सही प्ले ले लिए ये लोग.
नहीं यार सच में
sounds
I
good,
mean
man.
the one
Seriously,
thing
for Spurs, I think
one
sounds.
thing
पूरी
if
मिडफील्ड
if
कितने की आ गई, 100 मिलियन के अंदर आ गई पूरी मिडफील्ड.
No, Vicario
if
was
I
also
were a
good.
football
Your
manager,
goalkeeper
I mean
Vicario.
I would if I were a football manager, I in my head I would want a team that Ange is constructing. I'm not saying he's creating the perfect team, but the idea that he has, that he treats every player as equal, and he treats that you, if you're good enough, you're old enough. So he doesn't see the
Nice.
age कि मेरे को phase in करना है team में. I have to wait for that perfect moment. कोई Carabao Cup के कोई सड़े मैच में मैं खिलाऊंगा. तो ये मेरा भी philosophy नहीं. If you're good enough, if again I will draw a reference of one of our players. Of course, he deserves it because he's from favela, Brazil, and he's Anthony. Okay. वो सोच लेता है कि
एक तो
मैं
मिला है
तो
भाई.
भाई कुछ तो करेगा, मतलब वो स्टेप ओवर करके ले जाएगा. वो भूल जाता है कि बॉल लेके वो सामने भाग गया वो उससे, और वो आगे ही रह जाता है. ही इज टोटली डम फाउंड. सो ये करंटली अगर देखा जाए, ही इज द मोस्ट हेटेड प्लेयर. आई वुडंट से द वर्ड हेटेड, disliked player rather,
For good
at
reason.
United
For
for
good
good
reasons,
reason,
man. For good reasons, yeah.
and he's getting the hate and everything because we paid 100 billion. That is also a
Obviously.
contributing factor, which is
Also
not fair
disliked man because of some wrong reasons as well.
for
Yeah.
some wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about
Yeah.
that. वो case चल रहा है.
Yeah.
ये
You know,
शर्ट पहन
Allegedly.
के नहीं रहते भाई
Allegedly.
फुटबॉलर्स. इनको दिक्कत है ना.
दिक्कत है, चाहिए
इनको
कुछ ना
दिक्कत है,
कुछ.
इनका नाड़ा ढीला है ना.
you know, I feel like even the difference, this differentiation is because where Spurs is currently, where they can do a lot more experimentation than a team which is more stable. And when a team is, when you already have a starting 11, no matter how potentially good a young player can be, you cannot just put that person inside in a match of in a Premier League match. So it does make sense that a stable team would not put a younger player. While Spurs, they are currently
They're open right now.
They are open. All the positions are open for Ange, so he's
That is
obviously
true.
doing it.
Yeah.
So we talked about United, which has obviously not good enough midfield. We talked about Spurs, which has a good midfield. Now we'll go
That
to
shows
Chelsea again.
battle is won or lost in midfield.
In midfield. So we'll go to Chelsea and West Ham because Chelsea's midfield had Caicedo, who had a horror show, and I love it. But yeah,
100 million.
how was the match? I think
Too
Abhay,
harsh, too harsh on him.
I know, but I'm just enjoying it because they enjoyed too much when he signed for them. But yeah, I just
Abhay thinks
I'll
they
start
have
with Abhay.
dodged a. Abhay thinks they have dodged a bullet.
At least for now.
No, but actually speaking, I think it was one of the worst debuts that I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Right, worst debuts ever, because he for some reason Caicedo goes into every tackle believing that he will win. Right, it's good to have faith, but there's a difference between faith and delusion.
True.
Secondly,
Mm.
his positional awareness is really as in his spatial awareness is really bad because he does not see players behind him. अगर कोई
Oh,
1-2 करके प्लेयर जा रहा है, he's in trouble.
wow.
And thirdly, I also believe that we were saying, Caicedo plays in a good system, so he'll come into a top 6 club and he'll play well. I actually think the system was making him look really well as well, which is kind of countering the thing. But
Mm.
other than that, I think Chelsea should be happy with what they have seen of Jackson. That was the guy
Yeah,
that
yeah.
really impressed
Bright
me.
light.
But
Yeah.
you and the goalkeeper that they have bought, which was the second choice from Brighton,
Okay.
that guy, there's a reason he was the second choice. And you decided to replace Kepa, which was one of the worst keepers in terms of stopping shots and whatnot, with a worse keeper. How do you do that? Like, how do you do that? Because
With
this
that
guy,
much money, by the way. Just-
for
just-
25 million pounds,
Yeah.
we got Raya for 30, but yeah, that's whatever.
भाई ये जो
He-
मेरे को समझ में आता है कि कसीडो लाविया जो चेल्सी खरीद लेती है, ये
हम्म।
मतलब कुछ
जरूरत
स्काउट
भाई
वाउट
लाविया
दिमाग
also,
वाग नहीं लगाते शायद.
लाविया
also,
बेंच में तक नहीं था
राजेश,
भाई,
ये
बेंच
पहली
में
I
तक
बार
नहीं था
नहीं
वो.
है, ऐसा बहुत हो चुका है. विक्टर
also
मोजेस,
we had
फर्नांडो
high
टोरेस,
hopes.
बहुत
विक्टर
also
प्लेयर
मोसेस तो
है.
another
टाइटल जीता
player
है साले
I
कोंटे
really
के
want to
अंडर.
talk. So this guy Mudryk, right? They bought from Shakhtar for 100 million euros, right?
Okay.
100 million euros is like quite a bit of cash
Yeah.
for someone who's just had one season.
Yeah.
And they just bought him out of spite, all right. This is what I've come to the
हाँ
conclusion.
आर्सेनल जाने वाला था.
इन लोग का स्काउटिंग डिपार्टमेंट देखते कि अरे इस प्लेयर पे आर्सेनल स्पेंड करने को तैयार है, इस प्लेयर पे लिवरपूल स्पेंड करने को तैयार है, इस प्लेयर
अच्छा
पे
प्लेयर है.
यूनाइटेड स्पेंड करने को
ए
तैयार है, इस प्लेयर
यूनाइटेड
पे
का नाम
सिटी
घुसाड़ दिया. फिर देखा
इस
ये
प्लेयर पे सिटी लेने को तैयार है. भाई कुछ तो होगा प्लेयर में.
कुछ तो होगा. दिमाग में लगाना नहीं है.
Because they bought this guy and he's got the instruments right. He's got pace, he can dribble, but उसका first touch बेकार है, ठीक है. And they already had Lukaku. मतलब यही करना था Lukaku के साथ, right?
My shots fired.
And secondly, his raw pace is good and all, but his decision making is childlike. And I mean, being a little harsh on him, but
He is a child.
but the thing is, you come for 100 million.
He's a child. अबे हाँ बे बच्चा है साला.
बच्चा ही तो है, बच्चे की जान लोगे क्या?
नहीं, but अरे
तो
तू
क्यों
ऐसे
फेंका 100
का
मिलियन भाई?
बच्चा है
कौन बोला
भाई,
100 मिलियन बच्चे
का
फेंकने के लिए?
वंडर किड है वो, वंडर किड.
वंडर किड बोल जो बोल, he missed an open, मतलब it was a short at least गोल पे शॉट मारता वो.
लुकाकू
एक
ट्रेन में
अच्छा
किया ना
वॉली
उसको.
मिला था उसको अच्छा वॉली मिला था. And for some reason, I don't know what it is. He works really hard. That's what everybody says. And वो जिम जाता है, ये जाता है.
अच्छा
But-
वैसा.
है ना? He works really hard. It's
हाँ
not
हाँ.
like
He works
वो सब
really hard
करता
on his
रहता है.
fitness.
Yeah. But the thing is, एक certain footballing brain होता है, right? Which I think will come with time, right? Which will come with time because from what I saw in the match, Raheem Sterling actually was a shining light for them. He actually won them a penalty. And guess who missed the penalty?
Enzo.
हाँ, जितने महंगे प्लेयर है ना सब आ गए लेटने को.
Why do you think
And
we had one of the best weeks? See, we won and everybody that we wanted to lose lost.
And you know, Raheem Sterling is the player who has got the highest number of penalties in the Premier League.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
because
he
that's
did a very good job in that Chelsea team because he is now the most experienced player if you see
He is
in
a
that
good player,
Chelsea
man.
team. Yeah,
He was
so
really good in
Yeah,
Liverpool.
yeah,
he
was
did his
Arsenal,
job right.
City.
Yeah.
Thiago Silva
Thiago Silva ना
is the oldest player.
No, in terms of Premier League experience, I was saying like
हाँ,
he is
right.
he has played the most number of
अरे
games. So
बताने का
he-
ना भाई ऐसा नहीं करना
हाँ,
है.
ठीक है भाई.
but to give you an idea of where Mudryk stands, एक तो वो bench पे रहता है. But Pochettino prefers Chilwell to attack the left side instead of Mudryk. So this is where his standing is right now.
Okay.
The one player in Chelsea that is actually going to turn heads is Carney, the kid that they bought from Aston Villa. ऐसा farming करते हैं ये लोग kids का, है ना? देखा अच्छा kid है, 100K का contract दिया. Obviously, Aston Villa was not going to give that to a 19-year-old. Topic of Sir Enzo Fernandez, who missed the penalty, and
Yes.
guess who
Sir
he
लगा दिया
replaced?
उसको.
He replaced Jorginho, and guess who was amazing at penalties? Jorginho,
Jorginho.
obviously. But I understand that anybody who's seen Enzo play, they must have realized that he passes really well. Without a doubt, he
yeah.
passes really well. But a lot of times you have to also take into consideration the number of pressing people that are there on him and how he does it when people are pressing. I think in the first match, everybody was awed and wowed by how he was, but he was not being pressed. Another thing is, I think from the time Enzo has come to Chelsea, Chelsea's only won 3 matches in the Premier League or something like that.
Oh yeah,
think
their
that's a fun
record
fact.
is horrible.
So that's an unwanted record. Lastly, I would also want to put some light on West Ham because West Ham they did play their hearts out. Paqueta was pushing and whatnot. But if you look at West Ham's midfield during the match, right, it didn't look that good. So it's a glaring question at Chelsea that when their midfield was not that good, how are you still not able to post?
And one man advantage as well, I
Exactly,
guess.
one man
There was a
advantage
red
as well,
card
yeah.
even.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, the guy, so the guy who was having a really good game, Agard, who was their center back who had scored the goal, he also got a red card. And it seemed
wow.
after he got a red card, Chelsea looked worse. It's like I just don't understand how Chelsea functions. All right.
Pochettino,
देख भाई chaos
has
चालू
so
हो रहा है.
much to do, man.
Chaos
And
चालू हो रहा है मुझे लग रहा है.
I feel like they've done it again. I've thought, ownership changes, maybe the way that they sign people would change, but it still seems like that it's not Pochettino's team that he's selected. It's more like he's just given the talent by the owner, and now he has to make sense of it. Which, I mean,
Exactly.
Pochettino has a job on him, man, now. Because
And
these
नहीं,
are kind of.
Pochettino बोल रहा है कि मेरे को और चाहिए.
He's still asking for more, right? Yeah.
And
Amit, what's your
Pochettino is
take,
like,
man?
Bhai,
What do you think?
they've also done a mass exodus also this season, right?
Hmm.
Because of Pochettino. So, and I still believe they might
Support
get
कर रहा है.
new folks again. But yeah, I agree that Chelsea has played very good against Liverpool, and now they have like they did not stand up against West Ham. This is complete chaos, as Rajesh has said. So Chelsea is stepping into chaos once again, and let's
And
see
chaos
where
is a
where
ladder for
things-
Chelsea. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Nee, the thing is that I
It's
feel
not that
we
good of
are
a team, man. I don't know.
I feel we are discussing a lot of things about what could be or what could
Hmm.
not be, but I think we've got to give him 10 games like we've always discussed. Like
Yeah. True,
it
true,
applies
yeah.
to Ange, it applies to the likes of Pochettino as well,
Hmm.
because even speaking generally for the likes of Liverpool or Ten Hag, what's contrasting is that I was mentioning my case about United not performing well, right? So
Mhm.
even if we talk about Liverpool during the week, they
Hmm.
played very well after conceding, and
Yeah,
I was very
true.
happy that they
Hmm.
conceded, but immediately I had forgotten. Oh shit, this is Anfield that they're playing, not Bournemouth.
Yes, exactly.
So not in the Vitality Stadium. Then I was
Yeah.
like, मैंने लिख तो दिया, इमोजी भेज दिया मैंने जोगेकर को कि भाई you're trailing. फिर थोड़ी देर बाद देखा भाई फिक्सचर नहीं देखा था भाई कहाँ पे है होम गेम है लिवरपूल का.
नहीं,
But then as
starting में,
expected,
yes.
yeah, then as
You are
expected,
right, honestly.
they
पता
were
है.
banging goals. So the idea here is that the Klopp को भी बहुत सारे rebuild करना पड़ा. Okay, but
Hmm.
Klopp has a system. Klopp has the ideology and he
Hmm.
impresses everyone with that ideology. So
Hmm.
somehow down the line, the fan in me wants कि भाई Ten Hag यार हाँ, plainly without any logic. ठीक है, logic को
Hmm.
remove अगर कर देंगे तो हमको
Hmm.
लगता है यार लास्ट सीजन तो तूने इतना परफॉर्म किया था, अब
Hmm.
साइनिंग तेरे को दे दिया, अच्छा कीपर भी दे दिया, प्री सीजन भी
Right,
करवा
right.
लिया, तो
Hmm.
सिंपल एज ए प्लान मैं प्रेसिंग व्रेसिंग सब भूल जाओ यार, थोड़ा तो अच्छा परफॉर्म कर. बट
Hmm.
देन इट इज व्हाट इट इज, अगर थोड़ा दिमाग लगा देंगे तो अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. सो बट अबाउट ऑल्सो कमिंग बैक टू चेल्सी, राइट? Let's
Mhm.
giving 10 more games. Let's give Ange also 10 more games. I guess
Hmm.
we'll get to the broader picture later, I feel.
Agree.
So
Yeah, yeah.
what are we going to discuss? What all events happened in other games?
Oh yeah, dude, 5 red cards, man. I mean, I do want to talk about
Is
that.
this some kind of record or something in the
I
Premier League?
have no idea. I don't know, man. Like I have not seen that one, but too many red cards, and like there's just game week 2, just for that
Maheshwari is
particular
dying.
game week.
Maheshwari is dying to talk
Yeah,
about
and I do
Tomiyasu
want
and
to come
cut.
to him because, man, what was that red card and why did you get it? And
Bro, it's killing me. What are these
By the way, we are
rants?
talking about, just to put it on record, we are talking about the Arsenal versus Crystal Palace
yes,
game
yes,
Oh
it's
at
my
true.
God.
at home to Palace. Yeah.
At home to Palace, yes.
So pathetic, bro. So pathetic. The first, okay, so this is Tomiyasu, one of the
Okay.
most no nonsense defenders, है ना?
Hmm.
ये टैकल करके सॉरी बोलता है यार. ये टैकल करके सॉरी बोलता है.
मेरे को बहुत harsh
तुम
लगा
उसको-
personally.
है ना? और तुम उसको कैसे, उसको पहला, ओके, उसको डायरेक्ट रेड नहीं मिला, उसको
हम्म।
पहले मिला है येलो.
हाँ,
येलो
हाँ.
क्यों मिला है?
Mhm.
बिकॉज पहले कोई थ्रो इन ले रहा था, है ना? एंड देन वो थ्रो इन नहीं लिया तो काय हावर्ड्स आया, वो 15
हम्म।
सेकंड वेस्ट किया. तो
Okay.
काय हावर्ड्स समझा कि नहीं, मैं नहीं, टोमियोसे के हाथ में बॉल आई 5 सेकंड के लिए, वो थ्रो
हाँ।
करने गया, थ्रो भी कर दिया, उसके बाद
हाँ।
सीटी बजा दिया रेफरी.
वो
ये
scapegoat बन गया for
Tomiyasu.
others' mistakes.
Oh wow.
Scapegoat बन गया
So
बेचारा.
Tomiyasu is looking like
So
this.
what's
कि
refereering,
what
man?
just happened?
The fuck?
You know what just
the
happened?
hell?
And he did not, मतलब पूरे गेम में वो जब टैकल भी करता है ऐसे पैर, he just sticks out his leg, gets the ball, he's done with it, प्लेयर अगर नीचे गिरा हुआ है हाथ पकड़ के उठा देता कि ब्रो आजा गलती हो गई मेरे से, राइट? This is the guy. So Andrew Ayew, right? For the first time, at this is just a little behind the what do you call center line, right? Where the football starts from. इतना दूर है वो हमारे गोल से, टर्न मार के वो टर्न मार रहा था, इसका हाथ छुआ आयु को, राइट? हाथ छुआ, पूरा टर्न मार लिया वो बॉल के साथ, हाथ छुआ, बट टोमियासु थोड़ा बॉडी लगा के आगे गया, राइट? एंड आयु इज अ वेटरन फुटबॉलर,
Obviously, yeah, he made the full.
पैलेस में खेल रहे हो, तुम्हें एक दो चीजें करनी आनी चाहिए. One of them is touch हुआ तो गिर जाओ. Because that's how Crystal Palace play near the D as well. That is how they win most of their matches.
Even their short form of their team is cry. Like.
Abey, it was a London derby. These things are bound to happen.
Money share, some meme content for you, man.
So this was a London derby, so this thing was bound to happen. Same thing was with Chelsea and West Ham as well. It was a London derby and Chelsea didn't show up in the second half.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, matlab, have some context of the situation.
Exactly, yeah.
Context is London derby.
I assure you, in the entire season, nobody is going to get 2 yellow cards like this. I assure you.
Oh, right. Let me tell you something really nice. You might not get 2 yellow cards like that, but McAllister got a red card for a normal. That was also useless. For a challenge, that is standard challenge, man. He's just trailing. It's just a trailing tackle. Okay, both of them were going for the ball. It was just coming together. Got a red fucking card, man. What the hell is that? That's the problem.
VAR also did not intervene.
That's the most horrible thing.
Seems like referees have become colorblind these days.
This is the thing. New rules are so inconsistent, also, you know. They have so much freedom now.
I guess we are going to see a lot of cards this season.
So many.
But there is a rule, all right? There's a rule which says that second yellow card जो मिलता है, right? Second yellow card जो मिलता है, it cannot, and it turns into a red, you cannot contest it, as in via VAR.
Oh,
right. So अगर रेड का डायरेक्ट मिला है तो कंटेस्ट हो जाएगा,
तो कंटेस्ट हो जाएगा. हाँ,
दूसरा
वो तो पहले से नहीं, वो तो पहले से.
But that is right. He's right. Yeah, that's a fishy rule. That just means कि you have to be more concerned about a second yellow than a direct red.
You know, I want to say this thing.
What rule they have put is like the yellow card cannot be contested.
Exactly, the yellow card cannot be contested.
Yeah.
And
so
you know,
second yellow is still a yellow.
Second is still a yellow. I see this made more sense. The Premier League has gone complete U-turn from last year, where last year they went with this, that okay, a little bit of physicality is fine. The referees are supposed to let it go. It made sense at that particular time that you might not get those 2 yellows that easily. But this season they have done completely U-turn. I have no idea of how you are even giving those yellows. You can get yellow for just saying that, okay, that is yellow. But you cannot get that all the time, by the way, okay? So it seems like in Chelsea versus West Ham, or I don't know, if it was Arsenal versus, what is Arsenal's game? But in those games, some players were waving their hands. They did not get a yellow. But Mac got a yellow on the first game. So there is no consistency. And that's what pisses me off, you know. No consistency. No, the referees won't get questioned. And now yellow cards cannot be contested, and now the yellow cards are going to be given easily. I don't know how the rest of the games are going to go with that.
Yellow cards will be given easily, and penalties will not be given so easily.
It's also not consistent, by the way.
And nobody else
consistent.
Yeah. And
it's almost like most of the referees are like, हमें जिंदगी में attention नहीं मिल रहा है. अब पूरी दुनिया देख रही है. Attention हम ही को चाहिए.
नहीं, at least I'll tell you this thing. If you think that referees are not held accountable for their mistakes, it's actually wrong. You know, the schedule that is prepared for referees, right, to referee in the weekend, they are sometimes taken off. There's John Moss that committed the mistake and he apologized.
I do understand. I do, but
I mean, that is not accountability, man. I mean, you are off one game. That is fine. I mean, see that.
No, you're not off one game. You are up for review. and they lose their jobs because of these important decisions.
But they're
So not all the
reinstated
time,
again.
not all the time,
I
agree.
don't know, man.
For gray decisions, right? The Tomiyasu ones or the McAllister ones, which are not blatant errors, like the Onana one or the Romero one per se. I mean, but they're up for review. I mean, the Premier League chiefs or the board or whoever it is, every weekend they review and they try to improve. But our concern is that there is still no consistency. That is true. That is the big problem.
Yes. And
And
Premier
we
League
might
has
see a
this
lot of
really
controversial decisions going
probably.
forward until these referees meet together and figure out a way where they can do it consistently.
This has been happening for like seasons, by the way. Okay, every season there is this kind of stuff, and it has just been increasing. And the flip-flop in the rules, that is not helping at all, because I think referees every season referees get new kind of set of rules which they actually don't have any idea how to follow, so they just start messing up in some of the ways.
वो भी प्रीसीजन साले ठीक से नहीं करते.
चलो अभी भी रेफरीज को भी सऊदी लेके जाएंगे.
तू तो बेचने गया था ना डायर भाई, क्या हुआ?
भाई रेफरीज को भी बेच के आऊंगा. बताओ, नाम दो मुझे, लिस्ट दो. I will send all of them Saudi.
Harry Maguire.
Everybody wants to ship off their stuff.
Please बिकवा दे भाई.
This is going to be, there's going to be this year. I feel like if the referee rules don't change, then this is going to be just frustrating every game week. We're going to have one frustrating decision over another. Let's see how it goes.
It will be less frustrating if City don't win the title.
Yeah, that is true.
Which is quite ironic considering the color of the t-shirt you're wearing, which looks really nice, by the way. But,
Yeah.
ये blue moon rising नहीं है.
It looks very similar to what City wears.
Similar,
Yeah.
not same.
Not same, exactly.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I
what
think,
are we going to discuss, man? Yeah.
I feel like we have covered almost anything that we could in game week 2. I'm just from my perspective, Liverpool, we had a good game. We won. I'm just happy with that. I don't think we want to do too much deep dive on it. McAllister got a red. I hate that, but I think that we have already.
Guys, you're forgetting the big game. Newcastle ManCity, man.
And we were talking about Saudi. How
वैसे
can
तो
we
चालू
forget
किया
about that?
उसने.
We were in Saudi.
Ayer Newcastle में City.
Look at
Oh, yes, right. By the way, see, when last time when we were talking about Newcastle, everybody was saying Newcastle is so fluid and they'll be able to get past City and all that. And I was just not convinced. And I, see that.
You will be
Man
convinced
City.
this week. Yeah.
Me too.
No, everyone else thought
Against City,
Newcastle
I said, okay. Against
Okay.
us, we'll defeat them like anything. Against City, they struggled a little.
No, the thing is that the Newcastle game, right? I mean, the way the game was going, it was primed for a 0-0, man. But for the superiority of, the high technical ability that this bunch or the group has, man, you'll find one opening, man, at the end of the day. So they, again, the sheer technical ability of Julian Alvarez to actually, shoot that. I mean,
such a short backlift, bhai. A short backlift.
Bruno tried a shot from similar area, but he failed miserably.
I mean, Julian Alvarez is actually more,
dynamic, maybe
more dynamic and overall a greater asset, I feel, in my opinion, than Haaland, man. उसको कैसा भी सिस्टम में खिला लो, कल को अगर मतलब कोई और मैनेजर भी आ जाएगा ना, Julian Alvarez will shine.
What a signing, man, though, man. What a signing.
Because but with City, it seems that the system is so well oiled. They miss
Pun
so many
intended?
players. Huh?
Pun intended.
Intended, na? Must. Very good.
It's kind of pissing because you're like, Asha, as a PL fan, you're thinking, इस बार शायद points lose करेंगे because they don't have De Bruyne, they don't have Bernardo Silva. And then you look at, and they're playing.
भाई shopping list लेके निकल गया है Pep.
Oh yeah.
He bought that guy, right? Doku. He bought.
नहीं, shopping list वाली बात होती है यार इसमें जो क्या बोलते हैं चेल्सी में, जो कुछ भी लिया उठा लिया. इनका इतना टारगेटेड रहता है कि ये प्लेयर को पकेटा को परस्यू किया 1-2 बिड तक, हैगल नहीं किया, हट गए।
See, what Chelsea do is called window shopping. They go, हाँ ये उठाओ ये उठाओ. They have a shopping list कि हाँ अपने को
That
ये
is true
मांगना
actually,
है,
हाँ।
तो लेके
That's true,
आएंगे.
yeah.
They
Chelsea जो
immediately
है,
move out to, हाँ।
चेल्सी जो है जाता है सीधा डीमार्ट, है ना,
डीमार्ट
अरे
नहीं,
जाता
ट्रांसफर
है
मार्केट।
है ना, कि
Demand-
अच्छा ये दिख रहा है, ओ ये नया है, अरे नहीं ये नहीं लेते, अच्छा ये महंगा है, ये सेम
हाँ,
चीज है
ये
लेकिन
वाला
महंगा
उठाते
है,
हैं।
ये चाहिए,
वो
सही
डीमार्ट
बोला
जाता
भाई।
है,
नहीं
डीमार्ट
ऐसे
जाता
नहीं
है,
ऐसे
जो
नहीं,
चाहिए.
वो डीमार्ट जाता है लेकिन ही इज सेइंग कि समवन एल्स इज बाइंग समथिंग, ओ इफ शी इज बाइंग समथिंग देन दैट मस्ट बी गुड, उठाओ
Good.
इसको डालो अपने बैग में। आर्सेनल ले रहा है, ये अच्छा होगा ले लो इसको, लिवरपूल ले रहा है, ये अच्छा होगा इसको
I
ले लो, हाँ डाल
swear,
लो।
Oh
I
my
swear,
god.
bro, that is how they, bro, they're playing fucking FIFA, FM, everything put together.
Exactly.
You know, this is the kind of shit that I would want to do in FIFA, but I would play much better football. I
अबे
would
ये
like to.
फुटबॉल मैनेजर में भी नहीं कर सकता तू, वहां पे भी बजट कंस्ट्रेंट होता है भाई।
नहीं भाई, ये
फाइनेंशियल टेक
फीफा
ओवर फीफा में
फीफा का
आता
एक
है.
फीफा का एक होता है ना, you get initial budget of 500 million or something. That's how Chelsea
So,
does. Takes the
FIFA is
initial
a
budget and just
concept.
spends.
FIFA is a concept financial takeover. You can even put $1 billion to your team in the start. So
हाँ।
that is what they are doing.
That's what they do.
चीट कोड लगा के।
अरे भाई, उसके बाद अब पता नहीं कभी तो फटेगा. आई एम जस्ट वेटिंग ईगरली कि चेल्सी का कब फटेगा ये.
भाई चेल्सी का पता है कब
जो
फटेगा? अभी ये सब मोड्रिक वोड्रिक और ये सब सारे लोग हैं ना, if they play good then it's fine. But these guys are on like 8-year, 9-year contract. Try
पता
to
नहीं,
move them
मेरा
off
तो
and see how they say no.
सऊदी
मेरा ये
सऊदी
They
मतलब
won't move,
प्रेडिक्शन,
man.
सऊदी
They won't
जाएंगे
move.
सऊदी जाएंगे सऊदी जाएंगे सऊदी.
मेरा ये प्रेडिक्शन है यार, वो पोचेटिनो वाला फैक्टर तो है, वो कुछ तो ढूंढ लेगा टू मेक द थिंग्स वर्क। वो मुड्रिक को भी अच्छा खिला देगा वो। दैट्स व्हाट आई एम
Might be,
होपिंग
हाँ.
आफ्टर 10 games, बट देखेंगे
You
देखेंगे।
have to
देखेंगे,
give
हाँ, obviously.
Why
Pochettino.
you hoping? Why you hoping? Are you a United fan?
Yeah,
No, I am
don't
just
hope.
hoping from a point of view कि मतलब जो दिख रहा है यार अब, मतलब
देखो
फेल हो गया तो अच्छा ही है ऑब्वियसली, बट
दया आ गई क्या
I
तेरे को?
I personally
What's
feel
happening
दया
here?
वया
I
नहीं यार।
personally feel कि पोचेटिनो को सैक होना है. But but I still believe कि he will do something. See, he has
तू
raw
तू
talent,
तू
right?
दुबई में डिसाइड करके आ,
But
तेरे को सपोर्ट करना है पॉच को कि नहीं करना।
भाई ये देखो, this is dilemma every Spurs fan is going through right now, right? कि ये पोच
अरे
चेल्सी
अच्छा
चला
बंदा
गया.
यार, वही तो वो एक होता है ना, अ
तो
पार्ट ऑफ यू वांट हिम टू सक्सीड अ लिटिल बिट, ऐसा नहीं
I
कि
know, I
बस
know.
सैक हो
कि
गया 5
थोड़ा
महीने में,
जीत ले,
थोड़ा
थोड़ा
जीत
जीत
ले,
ले, इतना मत जीत कि मेरी टीम को
टाइटल
दिक्कत
जीत
हो
ले।
जाए,
हाँ
है ना?
वही।
देखो
नहीं
वही
नहीं,
है
वो
ना
नहीं हो
क्या.
पाएगा.
क्या था वो लोगों का रहता है ना कि इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान में, तो सानिया मिर्जा से जब पूछा था कि शोएब मलिक सेंचुरी मारे बट जीते इंडिया ही, तो वही सेम कंसेप्ट है इधर.
सेम कंसेप्ट है, हाँ।
Ah, nice.
तो
So City Newcastle done. Now we have to face Newcastle next week, man. And you know Newcastle is a good team. I don't feel like that is going to be an easy match. But at least we got a DM. We are not without a DM. Endo did a good job,
End
I'd
होने
say.
वाला है.
Endo did a good job. I know a lot of people, because of his price tag, are not very uplifted by the signing. But the thing with Klopp is that, you know, every signing that he does and the kind of player that he wants, I trust in him that he knows what he wants to do with him. And he at least he knows that the quality that he's seeking, that player has it. So I'm completely banking on what Klopp is saying, because see, I cannot see a price tag. Liverpool are really good at getting a player who doesn't have a really high price tag but has a really good
भाई सच
play
में
style.
मेरे को क्या लगा कि लिवरपूल एक्चुअली इंक्वायरी किया था फॉर एमराबाट। मैं बोला कि ओ माय फ्रिकिंग गॉड, ये लोग क्या किया, ये लोग कसिडो लाविया के चक्कर में जो कि 150 मिलियन खर्च करने वाले थे, ये साले 50 मिलियन में आर गोइंग टू हैव अ बेटर मिडफील्ड देन चेल्सी। मतलब इतना अच्छा बिजनेस कर देंगे, मैं कैसे आऊंगा यहाँ पे,
अभी
क्या
भी
शक्ल
पता है,
दिखाने?
I feel like that like everybody is talking that we might not get a CDM after Endo, and I mean we are hoping that we would get a guy.
चेहरा देख
Let's
के
just
समझ
say
गया.
let's just say let's just see, even if we don't get it, I feel like that we have Beshetic, who has a really high ceiling. We have Thiago, who can play the DM role. And then Endo is bought specifically for the
हमारा
position.
Thiago भी है बे, कहाँ गया वो?
Exactly. We have a midfield actually.
Injured.
It's just we don't have a
Doesn't have the
injured body.
legs actually.
It doesn't have the legs. Yeah.
I just realized कि this is what I used to do as well when I realized कि Arsenal कोई player नहीं खरीदेगा. ऐसी ही सहानुभूति देता था कि हाँ हाँ ये भी तो है, ये भी तो है, ये भी तो है.
is better than having no DM at all. Okay, so at least we'll have some stability there. Let's see how it goes.
I see
but-
the phases that you're going through.
भाई देखो लास्ट ईयर हमारे भी हालात ऐसे थे ना, क्या केन क्या करेगा, हाँ गोल कौन मारेगा, केन मार लेगा, मैं असिस्ट
लेकिन
करेगा,
भाई,
वही केन ही करेगा.
हमारे रेस्ट ऑफ द टीम
खुद
इतनी
को
अच्छी है
असिस्ट
ना.
करके खुद ही गोल मारेगा वो.
हमारे rest of the team is so good that if our DM position clicks, then our attack is superb. Okay, and Newcastle is going to attack. So that's the thing. It's going to be a very attack 2-4 kind of game, and Newcastle are going to have chances. Our defense is good. But Newcastle has enough technical ability to actually have chances. So let's see, it's going to be some good match. I'm still banking on my team to win, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah,
So,
I still think
I am also
our
hoping, man, United
team is
to
superior.
at least play well. I mean, again, I'm
Nottingham Forest.
anticipating. Yeah, we have a home game against Nottingham Forest.
Mhm.
I mean, what I'm hoping out of that game is that at least we play better,
Draw.
because home games we somehow, even if we don't play well, we end up winning 1-0 or we keep drawing 1-1 or something.
वो
So what
I
is
believe we
like
will
the way-
win, but
Mm.
it has got to be a pleasant win, man. I mean, I
You
can't
want to
take
see a
another
style,
Wolves.
basically. You
Yeah, we
want
want to
to
see-
see a style of
see
play.
My
some
Manish
kind
wants
of-
to see
Another
swag.
apology letter is
Manish
loading
wants
up
to see
right
My
swag.
now.
Manish wants to see swag.
What else? What other
Looks
fixtures do we
like-
have, man, for
Yeah,
for the
Spurs,
weekend?
who you playing, man?
Spurs.
स्पर्स का मैच है बर्नमouth.
Bournemouth, I guess.
Easy
Probably,
win
yeah.
for
Hmm.
Ange again. Again,
भाई
he's going
मत
to
बोलो
come and
ऐसा,
boast about him.
See, it is a complete different thing, man. Bournemouth say if you have to play, Bournemouth would sit in. I believe in it. That might be difficult. We have to see how he pans out with such teams when he cannot get those openings.
Yeah, deep sitting teams.
So
Hmm.
deep sitting teams. So that is
Okay.
what you have to see in this
Bournemouth are
match.
not going to sit and defend.
Yeah,
I told you.
Oh,
I
is
was
it?
going to say, yeah.
Well, they are not
Well,
playing.
yeah,
Then it might be good.
Where is the match? Is it in Bournemouth or is it in?
It's at Bournemouth Vitality Stadium.
Oh,
Yeah.
that can be a tough
Yeah.
place because the pitch is small and stuff.
Actually, yeah.
No, it can be a tough place. The fans also get in quite a bit.
Yeah, at least
right.
Ange post match में अगर हार गया या draw हुआ ये नहीं बोलेगा the pitch was smaller and wind was higher and all these things. So at least we can be sure of that.
Grass
Every,
का length,
every
bro.
every time.
अबे FPL का क्या चल रहा है बे तुम लोग का?
भाई अच्छे हालात नहीं है यहाँ पे अपनी टीम के.
I missed my first week actually, so I'm completely behind by 60 points, some 60, 90 points.
That's fine. We are going to focus on week who is going to do well for that week. Who's
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, you can join in later. That's fine. So
Yep.
आओ भाई लोग
guys,
खेलो.
जोगे
हम
कर
उनके
खत्म
साथ
कर भाई.
FPL.
Yeah. No, I just want to like ask the Arsenal का किसके साथ मैच है? That's the only thing that's
Arsenal
remaining.
have a London derby again.
Fulham.
Oh, nice man.
जिसमें
Nice.
हमारा एक्स गोलकीपर बर्नलेनो है ना? और
भाई
जो
हारो यार एक
और-
आध मैच अब.
अबे 2 ही तो मैच हुए हैं यार.
एक मैच
अब
हारो ना भाई,
हारने
हम लोग
का
को
time
पॉइंट
आ
चाहिए ना
गया
वहां
ना
तक
भाई.
आने
अबे
के लिए.
सच में ये लंदन आर्मी का मैं सच में ही बोलना है तो ये कोई मीनिंग नहीं है ये जो लंदन
कितने क्लब है लंदन में?
कितने
It
क्लब है
might not
लंदन में
have-
साला.
ऐसा
it
नहीं
might
है
not
भाई.
have-
देख वो पर्टिकुलरली क्या होता है, जैसे समझ ले फुलम का डायरेक्ट राइवल से चेल्सी, तो वो तगड़ा मैच होता है. फुलम कुछ भी हो जाए, अगर समझ ले यूनाइटेड फुलम है, वो रेस्ट कर देगा अगला गेम चेल्सी के साथ है तो
It's about
कि
वो-
मुझे
North
इनसे
East
इनसे जीतना है.
South
और
West,
जैसे ही
ये सब.
आर्सेनल और ये है, ब्रेंटफोर्ड भी
North
लंदन ही
London.
क्लब है, तो
अच्छा.
उसके पास में जो क्लब है उसके साथ होता है. वेस्ट हैम चेल्सी इज
हाँ.
ऑलवेज भयंकर.
लंदन भी
नहीं,
डिवाइड हो गया
वेस्ट हैम
भाई.
चेल्सी भी भयंकर होता है. वैसे देखा जाए तो पैलेस और चेल्सी भी बहुत तगड़ा मैच होता है.
हाँ,
No one
वो
wants
भी
to
है.
lose to each other.
Obviously,
Palace और
हाँ.
आर्सेनल भी तगड़ा होता है, पता है
Yes.
क्या? Always
मैं
lose
वही
against-
बोल रहा हूँ ना. अगेन यू आर ओनली जस्टिफाइंग माय पॉइंट कि साले
Exactly.
इतने क्लब से नो वन वांट्स टू लूज अगेंस्ट ईच अदर. बट यहाँ अपना सीन थोड़ा अलग है. यूनाइटेड लिवरपूल मैनचेस्टर डर्बी सॉर्टेड.
Yeah, sorted. मस्त. हमारे एवर्टन के साथ होता है.
Everton के बाद Merseyside derby.
Merseyside derby भाई क्या होता है? Everton would play shit for the whole season, but they will somehow play such a game against us ना कि it will just become hell for us. But
भाई
it's
दो
fun
बार
also.
से-
seen for some
दो बार से
reason
लगा रही
Tottenham
है.
plays really well against Liverpool.
हाँ, and City.
And City.
City.
And City,
And
yeah,
City.
yeah.
City
have
को
had
तो
our
हमेशा
troubles.
हराती है भाई.
नहीं, it is see because last कुछ time से you can say that क्योंकि हमारे पास मैनेजर वही थे काउंटर अटैकिंग वाले, तो जो ज्यादा
हाँ.
खुल के खेलेगा उसको पेलने
वो
का इन
ठुकेगा.
लोग में था.
हाँ.
And
But
also
normal
manager clashes भी थे. Mourinho versus Pep, Conte versus Pep. इस वजह से भी होता
वो
था
सेटअप भी ऐसा होता था कि भैर को जान डाल दो वहां पे, बस पार्क कर दो, हारना नहीं है.
Exactly.
Do-
देखिए
do
लो
you
ब्लॉक्स के
remember-
साथ ना.
Do you remember Tuchel versus Conte का handshake?
हाँ, वो तो सबको वेल.
अरे भाई.
नहीं मिला था भाई.
नहीं लेकिन ये जो अपना जब भी कोई बहुत अच्छा मैनेजर होगा एंड व्हेन दैट मैनेजर विल प्ले लो ब्लॉक, इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. वी हैव हैड आवर टाइम विद एटलेटिको. इट्स हॉरिबल टू प्ले एटलेटिको.
हम लोग
No,
Crystal
because
Palace
see,
के against low
because
block खेले
Atletico
भाई.
does not know how to play football, right? They do not know how to play the football right.
Oh yeah. Okay,
No,
it's
but
fine, man.
again-
Okay. What do you want Klopp to say? What do you want him to say?
They
भाई
beat
ऐसा
you.
मत बोलो कि
I'm telling
That's
you.
it.
Collectively, the whole fan base was pissed off, and I can see where Klopp was coming from. I was like, dude is saying exactly what I want to say.
अरे भाई तुम्हारा काम है ना, break that low block. Why are
I
you
know,
not
I
able
know.
to?
Okay, I think we've discussed the game week 2, and we're excited about game week 3, obviously. So yeah, we are looking forward to the fixtures, and I hope you guys are also looking forward to the fixtures as well. Let us know what you feel, and yeah, bye bye.
Like, share and subscribe.
bye guys.